Imagine making 10% interest on your money every year, but instead of interest, you get dividends. Welcome future millionaires, my name is Demetress Fairman, and today we're going to talk about the hot thing on the market, the new income earner. Stay tuned. Productive Business Solutions Limited, PBS, aims to raise up to $2.6 billion in 2 preference share offers that will support business expansion at the company that's already forecast to make its highest revenue and profit in 2022. Yes, there's another preference share on the market, and if you watch this channel, you know that I'm an investor in the JMMB 7.35% preference share. But chances are you've never heard of PBS and you don't know what them do. You say, who is PBS? The last time I hear about PBS is the station that shows Teletubbies on cable.
Tinky Winky Dipsy Lala Ho.
PBS is the leading enterprise technology company in the Caribbean and Central America. PBS operates in 19 countries, employs over 2,000 information technology professionals, and generates revenue in excess of US $220 million. PBS represents over 100 leading global technology brands seeking to do business in the Caribbean and Central America. Brands including Apple, Cisco, Dell, HP, IBM, Microsoft, Oracle, Xerox, you name them. So if you narrow down everything that you just heard a while ago, PBS is like a technology company. They are a technology product and service provider. You have probably interacted with PBS, but you just don't know it. But let me just give you their products and services and you see that, yes, other company here that is doing all this work, that is making sure all these systems are working, but you don't know them. It's like the hero that doesn't have a name. He works in the shadows. I'm Batman. But anyways, they do printing equipment, they do security and detection equipment, they have server, routers and networking gear, ATM machines, so the Scotiabank machines, all of them there that needs to be maintained, all of those machines that use the software, and you say, how is this always working and I don't see anybody doing the work? Well, they have the contract, they do that, they make the ATM services for you. Database software, document management software, retail scanners, paper, medical imaging equipment, storage equipment, POS terminals, so they're everywhere. They have their fingers in everything. They sell you a product and they're the same ones that service or maintain those machines or that product. So that business just full circle. It's like you need them basically if you want all of these products and services. As mentioned before, they have wide coverage. That means they're in about 19 countries, and some of these countries include Antigua and Barbuda, Aruba, Barbados, Belize, Cayman Islands, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Miami, Florida, Guatemala, Guyana, Honduras, Jamaica. So it seems that this company is on a path of growing and trying to conquer as much land space as they can, or to spread their services everywhere. Plus they have customers that most companies would want. Trust me, that client list is very eye-popping. So they have customers like NCB, Citibank, First Caribbean, RBC, Scotiabank, JPS, Digicel, the government of Jamaica. They're also doing the NIDS program, the National Identification System, and they're doing so in Jamaica and another country, I think Barbados. Was it the Bahamas or Barbados? One of them. Now that we know what they do, we know who PBS are, and we know who they service, let's jump into the offer details, the part that benefits me and you as investors. How can we buy? What are the dividends going to be like? When we can buy and who we can buy it from? Long story short, PBS wants the money and they want that money from us, so that's why they're offering the market 2 preference share, and as they will call it, 2 tranches. And that tranche is basically a portion of something, specifically money. In the USD tranche, or the USD preference share, they're offering 1 million shares at a price of $10 per share with, listen out, a dividend or an interest of 9.25%. And if that 9.25% sounds good, then wait till you hear the Jamaican one. The Jamaican tranche, they're offering 150,000 shares at a stock price or at a share price of 1,000 Jamaican dollars, and get this, they're offering 10 10.5% interest or 10.5% yield, dividend yield per year. So if you know my views on preference shares, I treat them like a savings account. So this sounds good to me. Imagine a bank, you're putting down your money and you're getting 10.5% per year on your money. Imagine if you have 200,000 Jamaican dollars in the bank. That's going to be an interest of 21,000 Jamaican dollars annually. So unlike the JMMB 7.35% preference share, which they split up that 7.35 and pay you monthly, PBS is going to pay you quarterly. So that means you're going to get 4 payments throughout the year. And there's no difference between paying monthly and paying one time for the year or even 4 times for the year. The thing is, if you want like a monthly income or if you want that money to do something, then the monthly will work better for you. But if you're a person who is not going to plan to touch the money, just want to save it and let that money build over time, and it doesn't matter when you get paid, it's just that you're getting paid. So you can do the maths. Whatever money you put in, just multiply it by 10.5% and then you would get your annual dividends, and then just divide that by 4, and then that will give you the 4 payments that you will receive that year. You understand? Comprende? Capiche? We got it. The way how that 10.5% look attractive to me right now, it seems like it could be my new dividend wife, or maybe just a nice side piece. We really can't drop the 7.35 like that. So let's jump back to the offer details. This preference share will be available to the public on August 12, 2022, and it's around the same time as the one-on-one IPO, which has already been oversubscribed. So if you never watched the video that I released on Wednesday, then
Don't buy to me. Cry to God.
wait until it comes on the market and then you can just buy into it that way. But as of making this video, the PBS offer is still open. So this video is not too late. You still have a chance. Remember, you don't have a chance if you don't have a ticket. But if you're asking yourself, why didn't this preference share oversubscribe like the IPO? Well, it's just like that. People in Jamaica love IPO and IPO is very popular. So that means people will jump at it. Plus that IPO was at a price of $1 per share. People will see this price of $1,000 per share and automatically think it's rather expensive, and that will turn off some investors. But as that old guy with the white hair that invests a lot of money loves say, value is what you get, price is what you buy, or something along those lines. But value is a funny thing, and value is dependent on the investor's goals. Now, would you rather invest $100,000 and get 6% per year with more shares, or invest $100,000 and get 10% per year but less shares? Leave your comments down below and let me hear what you're thinking. Let me see how you guys analyze these problems. This preference share closes off September 9, 2022. I think that it will close off before that. That's if another IPO doesn't come on the scene and take a lot of the retail investors' attention away from this preference share. But I think that it will sell off regardless, because all the banks, the pension funds, all the money market management funds will buy into this, because in a way it's like sure money. As long as this company is profitable, then they're going to pay dividends, and that's like a sure return on these banks to sell to their customers. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube that likes money. So chances are everything that I'm saying is garbage. So do your own research. The minimum that you can buy into these preference shares are $500 for the US tranche, and then 100,000 Jamaican dollars for the JMD tranche, which translates to a minimum of 50 shares for the USD side. So that's 50 times $10 per share, and for the Jamaican side, it's 100 times $1,000 per share. If you're liking this content so far, then please just smash that subscription button or smash that like button and ring that notification bell. PBS is offering a perpetual cumulative redeemable preference share. Yes, that's a lot of words, and I would be a liar if I told you that I understood anything that I just read a while ago. I'm just a normal guy like you, so let me break that down. Perpetual redeemable cumulative preference share. So first, let us understand what a preference share is. Preference shares are shares in a company that allow investors to collect a fixed dividend. The payment of these dividends take priority over dividends to ordinary shareholders. So that means that whenever the company is going insolvent or if they're paying dividends, the preference shareholders get that right of receiving their money first if the company is going into bankruptcy, or for dividends, the preference shareholders get their dividends first. However, for all of that benefit, you don't get any voting rights. So that's the difference between a preference share and an ordinary share. Let's go even further. They said that this preference share was perpetual, and that means there's no specific end date to this preference share. Cumulative means that the dividends will be added on to each other. So even if the company misses a dividend date, then that dividend that you were supposed to get, for instance, let's say June, will add to the dividends that you're supposed to get in July. So they don't miss any dividends. It will just keep adding up, and then you'll be paid in a lump sum if they miss a dividend date. Unredeemable means that the company can give you back your money or redeem your money that you've already invested. If you were watching Kalila Reynolds' Taking Stock interview on YouTube, you would have heard the Western Region Corporate Manager at JMMB Capital Market, Doyle Smith, said that there is a very, very long time that an investor can count on the dividend stream before PBS would have the chance to call it. As a note, they can call it, it is optional, but it's not before 15 years. Meaning that if you invest in this preference share, it's highly possible that you will be paid this dividend for 15 years. But this can be a double-edged sword, and here's why. Since the dividends or the income that you receive is fixed, then it doesn't move with inflation. And there is a chance that inflation will outpace your dividends or your income or the interest that you'll be receiving, because it's not a variable interest rate, it's a fixed income, fixed interest rate. So that's something that you should look out for and take into accountability when you're setting your goals of whether you want to put this PBS preference share in your portfolio. We can't expect dividends if the company isn't profitable. After all, that's when companies deliver dividends. Since the pandemic, the company's holdings have grown substantially due mainly to the September 2021 acquisition of regional business PBS Technology Group Limited, formerly Massey Technologies Limited, with its non-current assets more than doubling US $63 million to US $165 million. PBS expects to increase revenue to $300 million from their 2021 total of $24 million and also increase their net profit to $10 million. Now listen, if I should go over the financials in this video, then it's going to be 1 hour. But I know a guy, a person, a channel who does this sort of thing because they have no problem filming that 1 hour video. And their channel is called Learn, Grow, Invest. So Jermaine over Learn, Grow, Invest, he did a whole review of the PBS prospectus and he went in depth with the financials. So you can just check out his channel. The link will be down below in the description. Now, if PBS sounds interesting to you and this video pushed you to do your research, or it pushed you to ask your financial advisor about the PBS preference share, and you've got the information and know you want to buy this preference share, you can get it from Barita or JMMB, because JMMB is the lead broker for this preference share. We love dividends here on this channel, and that's the goal. We want to live off our dividends. We want to have a passive lifestyle. Like, we want to collect rent from the stock market, but not because a company is paying you such a high dividend or a high interest rate. That means that you should just jump on it without doing any research or knowing if it actually fits your goal. I'm not saying don't buy this preference share, and I'm not saying buy this preference share. What I am saying is that figure out if this works for your portfolio, or like me, maybe this could be my next savings account. So think about all these things before you press add to cart. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking this channel, and sharing my content. Until next time, happy investing.